English Easy Speak Pro.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Easy Speak Pro. Today, you are going to improve your English with a long, relaxing, and powerful story. This video is perfect for English beginners, A1 and A2 learners, listening practice, speaking practice, learning English naturally. So, do not worry about grammar mistakes. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Just relax, listen carefully, and allow your English to improve naturally. Today's story is about a man named Michael, a man who felt lost in life, a man who wanted a better future, and a man who discovered that learning English could change everything. So get comfortable and let's begin. Michael was 32 years old. He lived in a small apartment in a noisy city. Every morning, he woke up at exactly 6 a.m. The alarm rang loudly. Michael opened his eyes slowly and stared at the ceiling. For a few seconds, he stayed completely still. Then he sighed deeply. Another day. Another long day. He got out of bed, walked to the kitchen, and prepared coffee. Black coffee. No sugar, no milk. He drank it silently while looking out the window. Outside, the city was already awake. Cars moved quickly. People walked fast. Everyone looked busy. Everyone looked stressed. Michael felt exactly the same every day. Tired, unmotivated, empty. He worked in a supermarket near his apartment. His job was simple. Every day, he organized products, carried heavy boxes, cleaned shelves, and helped customers. Where is the milk? How much does this cost? Can you help me? The same questions. The same routine. Again and again. Michael was not lazy. He worked hard. Very hard. But deep inside, he felt stuck. Like his life never moved forward. At lunch, his coworkers talked excitedly about traveling. One wanted to visit Canada. Another dreamed about living in Europe. Someone else talked about working online with international clients. Michael stayed quiet. He had dreams too, but his dreams felt impossible. One afternoon, during his break, Michael watched tourists speaking English outside the supermarket. They laughed naturally. They spoke confidently. Michael listened carefully. He understood a few words, but not enough. And suddenly he felt frustrated. He whispered quietly to himself, "I wish I could speak English." Not because it sounded cool, not because of school, but because he believed English could open doors, better jobs, travel opportunities, new experiences, a different life. That night, Michael returned home exhausted. He sat on his old couch and looked around his apartment. Small kitchen, old television, gray walls, silence. He asked himself, will my life always be like this? That question stayed in his mind all night. A few days later, Michael was scrolling through videos on his phone after work. Funny videos, news, sports clips. Then, suddenly, he saw a title. How I Learned English and Changed My Life. Michael clicked immediately. The video showed a man talking calmly in English But what surprised Michael was this. The man was not rich. He was not famous. He was normal. Very normal. The man explained, "I learned English little by little. Every day. 15 minutes at a time." Michael listened carefully. The man continued, "You do not need talent. You need consistency." That sentence hit Michael deeply. Consistency. Not perfection, not intelligence, consistency. The man explained his method. Listen every day. Repeat simple sentences. Think in English. Stop being afraid of mistakes. Michael felt inspired for the first time in years. That same night, he searched for beginner English videos. He found simple stories, slow conversations, easy listening practice. At first, it felt difficult, very difficult. Some words sounded strange. Some sentences moved too fast. Sometimes Michael wanted to quit after 5 minutes. But then he remembered the sentence, "You need consistency." So he continued. The next day, he practiced again, and again, and again. Every morning before work, 20 minutes listening, 10 minutes repeating sentences, 10 new words. Small steps, but every day. After 2 weeks, Michael noticed something surprising. He started recognizing words in movies. Simple words, but real words. Morning. Beautiful. Excuse me. How are you? For the first time, English stopped looking impossible. It started feeling reachable, like a mountain he could slowly climb. And that feeling gave him hope. 3 months later, Michael understood much more English. But speaking? That still terrified him. Every time he tried speaking aloud, he felt embarrassed. What if I sound stupid? What if people laugh? What if my pronunciation is bad? Fear controlled him. One evening, while practicing English alone, Michael became angry. He turned off his phone and said loudly, "Why am I so afraid?" Then he realized something important. Nobody was judging him. Nobody was even listening. The fear existed only inside his mind. The next day, Michael made a decision. He would speak English every day, even if his English was terrible, even if he made mistakes. So he started talking to himself in English while doing simple activities. While cooking, "I am cutting vegetables. This smells good." While cleaning, "The table is dirty. I need water." At first, it felt ridiculous, but slowly, speaking became easier. His brain became faster. His confidence became stronger. One day, a tourist entered the supermarket and asked, "Excuse me, where can I find water?" Michael froze for 1 second. His heart beat quickly. But then, he answered, "Aisle 5. The tourist smiled. "Thank you." Michael smiled too. It was only 2 words, but for Michael, it felt like a huge victory. That night, he could not stop thinking about it. I spoke English. Real English. With a real person. And the world did not end. In fact, it felt amazing. Months passed. Michael continued practicing every single day. Slowly, his English improved more and more. One afternoon, his manager called him into the office. "Michael, she said. "We have more international customers now. We need someone who can speak basic English." Michael felt nervous immediately. Then his manager smiled. "I think you can do it." Michael could not believe it. For the first time in years, someone believed in him. His new position included helping tourists, answering questions in English, assisting international customers. At first, Michael made many mistakes. Sometimes he forgot words, sometimes he spoke slowly, sometimes he felt nervous again. But something was different now. He no longer feared mistakes because he understood mistakes are part of learning. Every conversation made him better. Every mistake taught him something. Soon, customers started complimenting him. "Your English is very good. You speak clearly. You are very helpful." Those small comments changed Michael's confidence completely. For the first time in his adult life, he felt proud of himself. Not perfect, but improving. And improvement creates happiness. 1 year later, Michael's life looked completely different. He still lived in the same city, but he was no longer the same person. Now, he listened to podcasts in English. He watched movies without subtitles. He spoke with tourists comfortably. He studied every day with confidence. But the biggest change was not his English. The biggest change was his mindset. Before, Michael believed life could never change. Now he understood something powerful. Small daily actions can completely transform your future. One evening, Michael walked home after work and looked around the city. The same streets, the same buildings, the same people. But everything felt different because he was different. He smiled quietly and whispered, "I'm proud of myself." And for the first time in many years, he truly meant it. Before this video ends, I want you to remember something important. You do not need to become fluent overnight. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need a perfect accent. You only need daily practice, patience, courage to continue. Even 5 minutes a day matters. Even 1 sentence a day matters. Little by little, your English will improve. And maybe, just like Michael, your life will improve too. Because learning English is not only about language, it is about confidence, opportunities, growth, and believing in yourself. Thank you for spending this time with English Easy Speak Pro. If this story helped you relax and improve your English, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and continue practicing every day. Remember, your future changes when your daily habits change. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye, and keep speaking English with confidence.